This is a creative design team project for Tracie Fox Creative, and this is the front cover of my photographic journal, and this is how I made it. I've got this book, and the first thing I need to do is I need to similar, at least, if not similar to Gladys. It's the same size, but I need to cut it here to have my two bits, and that will actually make it that wee bit bigger when I put the gap in here. I'd quite like to leave this covered as it is. If it didn't have this red bit on it, I would because I kind of like this book cloth. I just think it's a nice, but it's green, so that isn't actually the colour I want it anyway. Let's just mark this. By the time I cut it, I'm not going to be able to see. It's going to have an exposed edge, so I can't use it as is anyway. Let's just mark the other one. Nearly. You need to have any loose bits pulled off to make sure that they don't end up spoiling your finish. Get this bit off as well. See, that whole thing is now coming. Oh, keeping that. And the same goes for here. Oh, I'm going to get a fabulous bit. Oh, look at that. Look at that bit of book cloth. Fabulous. A bit of a bubble there in the original lining, but I kind of get it. That bubble in that line is actually quite annoying. Let's see if I can lift it up. There we go. The reason I decided I needed to do that was it will actually show. The bubble will be exaggerated on the next layer. So that's that one, and now I have to do the same with this one. Board itself coming up there, so we want to stick that bit down. What we now have is 4 bits of board. I want to make sure I keep them the right bits for the right bits. Right, so this is front, outside, up, back, inside, up. Right, that just means I don't get all my pieces confused. I think I'm just going to give them a wee sand along this rough edge. Okay, so I've now just sanded them and got rid of all those rough bits along there. The interesting thing is you can now see that there is a bit of an issue, but that's on the back, so that's okay. Let's start with the front one. I haven't shown you what I'm doing, have I? I had this sample of, it's actually upholstery fabric, and I just thought it actually speaks to me of the kind of Victorian scene, as it were. I can probably get them both out of that bit and still have a bit left. I quite like that bit there, so we should put the front cover on that bit there, I think. Although it's going to end up mostly covered up, so maybe I should put the back cover on that one, that bit, which Yeah, and then maybe put the front up here. Let's get my scissors out. And I want to cut, I don't want to tear it. I love tearing fabric, but I don't want to tear it because I want it to not only be straight, but also I want it to be, I actually love the sound of fabric scissors going through fabric as well. Not only about having it straight, it's about making sure I don't use any of the width in pulling, because as you can see where it's been torn along the edge there, it's pulled quite a bit. This is sometime later. You wouldn't have wanted to watch me do this because I didn't really know. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know how to go about doing it. But we now have a back cover with its hinge, and this is what it's like on the inside. This is double size of the backs of the cabinet cards, because you also get these cabinet cards in bigger sizes, so I thought that really worked. I had a bit of muck on the thing, so of course this tape, but that's, you're not going to see that because that's going to be, that's the binding bit of the book. I need to go and warm up. Our heating isn't working, so I'm going to go and warm up, and then I will do this, the front cover with you. Love it. I mean, I love that. The fabric works really well. I'll do the front cover with you so you can see how it all assembles, for those of you who might be wanting to do a similar thing. And then we need to decorate the front cover, but I need to go and warm up for now. This is back cover on, and you can see how it's going to be, and it's got that same hinge mechanism. So let me show you how we make the back cover then. First of all, cover it with the material, and I've already done that. You don't need to, well, the hinge side of your panel, you don't need to worry about being terribly neat. I've tried to just do it as flat as possible. The book unfortunately has a big bump here where the book cloth was. So, but you don't need to worry about doing it neat. You want to do nice mited corners the outside, if that's the thing you want, or you want to be putting on corners, which I'm going to be putting on corners this side, so I didn't bother about going terribly neat there either, but the corners go on at a slightly later stage. Then on the back here, I'm putting a bit of my black card, so let's put that down. Let's make sure we put it down the right side, because there is a right and a wrong. Sometimes it's not easy to see that, but there is a right and a wrong side with most cards, especially the thicker you get, the more there's a right and a wrong side. There's also this doesn't really matter to most of us that are doing just junk journals or using digitals and so using paper, but if you're using papers, like even watercolour papers, there is also a warp and a weft and a way that you should lay your paper, whether it should be going that way or that way, you know. Most of us, the type of journals we do, we just put it down and we don't need to think about that. But there is a warp and a weft to paper. You can tell that sometimes, you know, with fabric, oh see, this is what I've got to watch with that ring. With fabric, when you tear, sometimes fabric will only tear one way, or it'll only tear well one way. That's the same with paper. Now let's make sure we put this on the right way, keeping it up, and I can, as you can see, I've distressed this a bit. Oh no, I've done that wrong. I've done that wrong. Let me just see if I can get this back off again. I can. That was near disaster. I'm going to stick this on here so that it's stuck on here, because otherwise I'll end up with dried glue on the inside. But I just realised that in time. There we go. Okay, that was a near mishap. Right, because if what we've got to do next, it's because I'm talking to you about paper, not thinking about what I've got to actually do. I could bore you silly talking about paper. Right. Next thing we've got to do is this. Now, like in the other ones, I'm putting an extra bit because we've got more card on here so that it doesn't end up with already, but even at the cover, we're out of sync, as it were. And what we need to do is, this is on the inside, so we want it on the outside. We're doing the outside first. Let's just stick this on here so this is stuck down. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to start on the inside by putting this on there, and then we're going to put this on there. So we've got our, just make sure I get them level. Oops. Level on there as well. This on here. There we go. Then we are going to bring it all the way over and down on here. And over. I'm going to cut that off. Oh, and I've twisted it. Oh no, 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 no. That's okay, because it's fabric, it's less of an issue, but that's not gone on straight in the slightest. Let's try that again. Bring it down. Keeping it as straight as you possibly can. Now I've got gluey fingers here, so I'm just going to quickly go and wash my hands, because otherwise I'll put the glue on there. Okay, let's just rub that down. Get that nicely down there. Over the back, and stick this down here. Then what we want to do is we want to just cut off the corner. Stick that on there first, and then fold that over. Oops, get that down there. There we go. Do the same this side. Then what we want is we want to have a piece that's exactly the right length. So, well, as near as exactly the right length as possible. Then where's my, let's just get that crease in there. So that's just sticking those two bits together down there, and then we've got our hinge. Let's stick this back down again. So this is the front. How fab is that? Now, we need to think about decorating this. I've got my corners. I'm going to put them on right now. Let me show you. Like the things I've got to do, the things I've got for decorating this front page. First of all, I thought I might use this particular photograph, which I've made smaller. I've not used it inside the book, and I'm not planning on using it all. I'm planning on using it as a bit sticking out, so it's sticking out behind something else. I'm also slithering about whether this one will be used instead, so I'm just going to cut this one out as well. And I know I've cut that bit off there, but that bit's going to be hidden, so I'm not bothered about that being cut off there just now. Right, so those also, from printing the inside covers on full side, we have double sides. We have this connections in time, and it needs distressed up a bit, but I'm thinking I'm going to put that on the front cover. I've also got this Tim Holtz film. I thought it was tape and sticky, but it isn't. It's not a, so I've got to stick that down somehow. I've got a stamp from America. I've got a bit of lace which I've used inside, but this is the main thing. In here I got my hands on an old camera that wasn't working, and I got my husband to take it apart, and these are all the bits. This was the flap, and it opened, and that's how it stood. It stood on that. And I think I'm going to want to put this on the front cover of my book. I've got lots of other wee bits here, including, some of it was very hard for him to get off. So there's a bit of damage, like that one's got a bit of damage, but I thought if I tuck that underneath there, you've still got a bit of that I quite like, or I've tucked it underneath something. So I'm thinking of using, there's lots of other bits, and this bit here is the kind of lens, and he said, "Do you want this taken apart?" And I decided no, I didn't. I'm just going to put that on my shelf somewhere, because I just think that makes a lovely wee ornament all just by itself. This has the most fabulous mechanism. Watch this. So it folds back when it went back in the camera. Look at that. You think how old that is. And then if you're looking and you want to do landscape, then that just tips that way, so you can still see. That fabulous. Sometimes I think we think we're the ones of all the invention, but well. So I'm going to start just playing around with what I will. Oh, and I also thought I might use some of the book cloth that I took off the book as well. So I don't really know exactly how I'm going to do this. this has got this bit on which couldn't be removed, that's higher, so I'm going to have to, when I decide what this is, I'm going to have to press this into the book bookboard, and hopefully it will recess in without kind of causing too much of a angst. I might just make a hole in the fabric so the fabric doesn't pull, but I need to decide where that's going first. So let me see, I thought this could be kind of hidden under there as opposed to full out, so that you can tell there's a photograph under there. In fact, maybe I've put both of these under here, and I kind of, these are some of the photographs that might be, oh, now I like that. The stamp is because there's a, you'll see the story as when I show you the whole thing, but there's a wee trip to America that happens, so that'd be quite good. Quite like that. Do I want to use a bit of this? Do I want that up there, or do I want this down here, or do I even want it on there? Do I want this on here? I really like this, but it is a bit kind of plain, isn't it? Do I want to put, see, that doesn't, oh, do I want to put that, oh yeah, let's put that behind, oh yes, let's put that behind that. I like that. We've still got to think it. Let's put that behind that. What about this? What are we going to do with this? We could put that on there. Oh, yeah. Let's take, I've got this bit as well. What are we going to do with this bit? Do we do that with her? So yeah, that needs to be in connection with this because it's also high. So that's why it kind of would be quite good to maybe put that there. And then we could maybe put, oh, we could put the stamps of Liberty shows through that hole. Do we want to put this on here? Do we want to put these further round, like so, and put this across the top, kind of like that? I want to move all this over a bit. What I don't want this in the centre because then it looks kind of, put that there, put the connections in time on top of that, and then put this over that. I feel like I want a bit more purple. Oh, I just had a thought then. Have I got any cut that would do the trick? I was just thinking that connections in time. Some of these things have that kind of, oh, I like that. These are Sethapta dies. I like that, but I'm just wondering if it's a bit too, it's not really, oh, see, but I kind of like, I like that one as well. That's not purple though. You said you needed more purple. I'm not quite sure why the numbers would be there. I just thought that that would be, it would kind of signify a bit, you know, a bit like a timeline, but I'm not convinced. Quite like that because we've got the green. If I did put that down here, put that down here with the green along here. It's starting to get quite busy though, isn't it? This is too thick. This is a thin bit. Maybe want that even thinner yet. It tears so beautifully. Do I need that on there? I'm not convinced I need that on there at all. Originally I was thinking that this would go, oh, maybe this is where I need this timeline type idea. Put that there. With that on top. Because then it all kind of, oh yes, it all kind of links that together then. So, do we still want to, do we maybe want to put a bigger bit of this behind here? Quite like that going off there. Or if it was in purple, it'd be quite good as well, wouldn't it? I've just seen these gates, and these gates have nothing at all to do with it, only they're Victorian gates. So they're saying to me, well, that would be really cool, wouldn't it? But what's it got to do with the rest of the album? Absolutely nothing at all. But they're just shouting at me, look at me, why don't you use me? Because I'm a kind of Victorian-y style. Oh, do I maybe find a bit of purple lace? I haven't used any purple inside. I've used red inside. I've used gold inside. So do I change the colour of this stamp? Oh, what's that other colour? That's pink. The other dress is pink. I'm not sure if I've got another American stamp that's old enough. Oh, what's that one? That's a US postage. So if we use that instead, then we've got green. We're not introducing that. It's a different shade of green, but I'm okay about that. But we're not introducing a different colour. It's a bit dark. I know it's a bit dark, but actually I think that's fitting for what it is. I need to do some sticking down. I need to do some aging of some stuff. I need to try and get this to settle in. So let's start. I'll do that and I'll put you on speedy. Just check I don't want that on there. I think I'll wait until I've got it all down and then decide. Just used a bit of Timmy tape because I've got it right here. Is that one not coming out? There we go. Bit too wide. Let's just chop that a wee bit. Needs to have a wee bit more because I want to have it badly stuck back together. No, maybe that's why it wasn't used in the album, because it was badly stuck together. And then we're going to use this wee bit of tape over the top of it. And we're wanting that to go on there, and I'm going to use a wee bit of tape over that as well, I think. This is the one we want down first, isn't it? So let's get this one down first. We'll use some glossy accents to stick this down. Okay, I think we're now at the stage where I need to give this an indent and see what happens. Right, so that's where it's wanting to indent. So we're going to start with do we do that? Do we try and punch out a hole with my Japanese hole punch? Yes, that's good. That's just making a big difference. Can you see? Right, okay, that's that in settling in there. Needs to be a bit bigger. Something to build that up in that corner. Okay, because of this still sticking up quite a bit, and I want to make sure it's nice and solid, I've just used some cardboard and made this little square, which I then covered in the black tape. Got this bit here that's not sticking down, so let's just cut it all off. And I'm just going to put it in this corner. I'm going to stick it down this corner just to support here. I'm sticking it, it's tight, and I'm sticking it to the board. I'm not bothered about getting it stuck on the, it's hard to explain now, I've put it down, but there's a rim all the way around, so I've put it inside that rim and just stuck it down there just to give it a bit of support in that corner, and hopefully that will keep the whole thing nice. And just get that wee bit of glue off there. I've managed to smudge on there doing that. I should have thought about doing that before I stuck it down, just putting something in each of the four corners, but this is sitting down lower, so it probably couldn't really have been done until this stage. But can you see, I've just got that there. So we've got this stamp to put on, but it's just a bit green, so I'm just going to distress it a bit. This is so dark. I wonder. Will that sit in there? Yeah, see, this actually comes from another part of the camera. I just wondered if it would sit in there. We want something, maybe, oh, why don't we just put a Setawee gel in there? Now where are my faceted jewels, the ones that aren't flatbacks? Now these aren't flatbacks, so I don't tend to use them very often, and I'm pretty sure I've got some biggish round ones. That's, I see, here we go, these are round ones. Have I got something? What kind of colour shall I use? Oh, how about that topazy one? Oh, that's fab, and it just fits in there so perfectly. Oh, look at that. So I don't think we're going to do that. And I don't think we're going to do that either. But I just had another thought. I could actually put something behind here, couldn't I? Not that. Maybe a bit of paper or something. Maybe another photograph. Maybe another photograph. Or I did have a thought. Sorry, I thought I'd put you back on then, and I hadn't. I'd done a lot of humming and hawing about what to do here, and I just thought, oh, I'll turn you off while I'm doing that, and then I forgot to put you back on at the end. I ended up getting this bit of linen and stamping on it memories using my set. I was going to get out my lecture set so that it was it was more kind of in keeping, but I thought actually this ties in better with this font, because I don't have this kind of really Kodak-y font, so I just thought that was that. So this is stuck in, this is stuck down, and actually I'm not going to move it, but it's, I can tell it's there's resistance there, so it's taking, so I'm pleased about that. The links for this are all down below. This is a creative design team project for Tracie Fox, and I'm using her Connections in Time kit. This is the rest. I'm building into a photograph album, so let's just put that on the front like that, and next time you will see how I'm going to put it all together. You can see how there's still room. That's the one thing I still haven't decided yet about, and that is whether I'm going to notch for the cards, because the cards, the journaling cards, these ones have two sides, these ones have one side of journaling space. The cards are a bit of a, see, that one goes in okay. Let's try the next one. How often are they going to come out in and out? Does it matter that you've got to do that? Because I just think it might spoil the lines if you then have it, you know, have a notch. I just feel these, yeah, if I put all these in, then I'll have a better idea, won't I? If I put them all in, then I'll have a better idea. I'm going to put them all in, and then you can leave me a comment on whether you think I should punch out a hole or should I just leave them as tabs. So I'm just going to put them all in for you. There we go. What do we think? My concern is if I put a hole in them, it'll lose the idea of being a photograph album. What do we think? What do we think? Do we want a notch or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. You take care. Links are all down below. Keep crafting. Bye for now.